Nothing, and we mean nothing, beats Grandma's cooking. While these recipes seem too tasty to be old-timey, trust Grandma. The classics are timeless and need no tweaking. Enjoy the best of Grandma's kitchen for an hour. Teat. Starting with a masterpiece of lunchtime tradition, the tuna melt on rye holds a storied spot in American cuisine. This beloved sandwich stacks a hearty tuna salad, crafted from a blend of canned tuna, creamy mayonnaise, and a select mix of seasonings, beneath a slice of melting cheese, all nestled between two slices of rye bread and grilled to crispy, golden perfection. Its origins trace back to the 1950s in Charleston, South Carolina, where it was born from a happy accident involving a chef and a mishap with tuna salad landing on a grilling cheese sandwich. This serendipitous event led to the tuna melt's rapid rise to fame, making it a favorite across diners and cafes throughout the nation. The construction is simple. Tuna salad and cheese are layered on rye bread, which is then grilled until the bread crisps beautifully and the cheese turns deliciously gooey, a testament to how the best culinary creations can stem from the most unexpected incidents. Chicken cordon bleu is a sumptuous dish composed of breaded chicken breasts stuffed with ham and cheese. Its name, cordon bleu, which translates to blue ribbon from French, hints at its esteemed origins. Thought to have started in Switzerland around the mid-20th century, it soon won over American palates. The method involves flattening chicken breasts, layering them with ham and Swiss cheese, rolling them up, covering them in breadcrumbs, and then frying or baking them until they're beautifully golden. The popularity of chicken cordon bleu in the United States was significantly driven by the rise of gourmet frozen meals in the 1970s, where it became a favorite for its ability to retain taste and texture even after freezing and reheating. Often featured at formal dinners or during special occasions in the 60s and 70s, it was prized for its crisp outer shell encasing a lusciously gooey and savory center. Steak Diane is an iconic dish featuring tender beefsteak smothered in a delectable cognac sauce, often flambéed right at your table for a touch of dining drama. Originating in mid-20th century America, this dish is named after the Roman goddess Diana. Its preparation includes pan-frying beef tenderloin and concocting a sauce from the pan juices, cognac, butter, mustard, and Worcestershire sauce. Adding a flambé enhances the rich flavors of the sauce dramatically. Steak Diane's allure was heightened by its theatrical preparation, often becoming the centerpiece of dining experiences in fine New York City restaurants such as the Drake and the Sherry Netherland, where celebrities frequently dined. Thought to have debuted in the 1950s in New York City, it quickly became a cornerstone of high-end dining. It was often served with mashed potatoes or vegetables, embodying the elegance of mid-century dining. Back in 1958, Vince DiDomenico decided to bless us with rice-a-roni, branding it as the San Francisco treat. This nifty dish combines rice and vermicelli, browned up in butter, then simmered down in a savory broth. Talk about a tasty side dish that clicked with American families. The big sell was how versatile and easy it was to make, perfect for the fast-paced lifestyle folks were leading. With a lineup of flavors like chicken, beef, and Spanish, there was something for everyone. The catchy jingle from its commercials, Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat, helped cement its place in American culture. The best part? Just sauté and simmer. Even though its heyday has seen a bit of a dip with the rise of health-conscious eating and more quick-prep meal options, Rice-A-Roni still stands out as a hallmark of culinary creativity from back in the day. So, tuna noodle casserole really found its footing back when the wallet was a bit tighter for most folks. It's all about mixing up some canned tuna, those squiggly egg noodles, a creamy mushroom soup base, some peas, and whatever crispy stuff you've got, like crushed chips or breadcrumbs. It became a household name during those pinch penny times, serving as a cost-effective way to fill up the family table. Ads would rave about how you could whip this up in a flash. Total lifesaver for the busy families. And over time, everyone started throwing their own twist into the mix. Like in the Midwest, where they love tossing in cheddar cheese, or others jazzing it up with veggies like celery or bell peppers. Always a hit at family dinners, especially when the weather turns cold and you need something hearty. Beef Wellington, named perhaps after the Duke of Wellington, is a marvel of British cuisine that showcases culinary artistry. Imagine beef tenderloin lovingly coated with pâté and duxelles, all wrapped in a crisp puff pastry. The precision in sealing the tenderloin tightly within the pastry, ensuring it cooks to juicy perfection while keeping the pastry flaky, is what makes or breaks this dish. Served primarily at grand dinners and special occasions, it often came accompanied by rich gravies and elegant veggies. The phrase, "a feast fit for royalty," wasn't thrown around lightly, as it perfectly captured the essence of this dish. Dining on beef Wellington typically featured a moment where it was sliced right at the table, displaying the succulent meat and intricate layers, a true feast for the senses. Its grand presentation made it a memorable part of any celebratory meal. Oh, chicken a la king. This creamy delight, possibly whipped up first by either William King of Philadelphia's Bellevue Hotel or an ingenious chef at New York's Delmonico's around the early 1900s, truly knows how to comfort the soul. Picture a dish where tender chicken meets a velvety sauce of mushrooms, pimentos, and green peppers. The sauce? It's all about that roux enriched with cream and butter, wrapping the chicken in a blanket of comfort. Interestingly, some sources also suggest that the dish was named after King George II, adding a regal twist to its storied history. Marketed with slogans like "Cooking for Kings," it graced the tables of the well-to-do, often served on toast or nestled in a vol au vent. The dish became a familiar sight at family gatherings, symbolizing a feast of elegance at special events. Fondue bourguignon brings everyone around the pot, where bite-sized pieces of meat are sizzled in hot oil, then dipped in various sauces. This fondue variant became all the rage in the 1960s, turning mealtime into an interactive festivity. You'd need a fondue pot, skewers, and a steady heat source to keep the oil bubbly. It's not just the taste, but the experience of cooking together that made it a hit in casual gatherings, creating a buzz of activity around the dining table. This fondue variant originated from the Burgundy region in France, traditionally using the local wines along with the oil for cooking. Safety was key though, as managing hot oil and ensuring everyone had the right tools was essential to keeping the fun times safe. Fondue bourguignon was all about community and flavor, making dining a lively part of the evening. Waffles with chicken is a classic Southern dish that beautifully combines savory and sweet flavors, first appearing in the 1930s. This dish pairs crispy fried chicken with fluffy waffles. The ingredients include chicken, flour, eggs, and buttermilk for the waffles, while the chicken is coated in seasoned flour before frying to golden perfection. The waffle batter is cooked in a waffle iron, resulting in a tender texture. Maple syrup is usually paired with this dish, enhancing the flavor combo. Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles helped popularize it, introducing this delicacy to a wider audience and solidifying its place in American food history. This iconic restaurant chain was established in Los Angeles in 1975 and quickly became famous for this unique dish. Buttered grits, a Southern staple, originated in colonial America. This simple yet beloved dish is usually served as a side or base for other toppings. Made from ground corn, grits are cooked with water or milk until creamy, then butter is added for richness. The dish is synonymous with Southern cuisine, particularly in Charleston, South Carolina, known for its love of grits. Grits are remembered for their comforting texture and versatility, which made them a popular breakfast dish in the 1970s. Traditional or unusual toppings like cheese, shrimp, or gravy enhance the dish. The dish's cultural significance lies in its association with Southern hospitality and hearty breakfasts. In some Southern states, grits are even considered a delicacy and are often served at special occasions and celebrations. Scrapple, a traditional Pennsylvania Dutch dish, dates back to the 17th century. It's a savory breakfast item made from pork scraps and cornmeal, formed into a loaf and fried. The dish uses specific animal parts like pork liver, heart, and trimmings, combined with cornmeal and spices, creating a unique flavor profile. Scrapple is usually fried and garnished with maple syrup or ketchup, making it versatile. Scrapple is considered one of the earliest forms of American comfort food, as it was created by German immigrants who settled in Pennsylvania. It's popular for its rich flavor and association with Pennsylvania Dutch culture. it became a regional specialty due to its resourcefulness and distinctive taste. Scrapple holds cultural significance as a testament to frugality and tradition, often served with eggs or toast. Duck à l'orange is a venerable French dish that pairs roasted duck breast with a vibrant, tangy orange sauce. Its rich history dates back to the 19th century, enjoying popularity among French aristocrats. The duck is typically roasted to achieve a crispy exterior, while the sauce is crafted from a reduction of orange juice, stock, and a hint of Grand Marnier or Cointreau. By the 1970s, this dish had become a hallmark of sophisticated dining, frequently chosen for elegant dinner parties or upscale restaurants. The delightful contrast between the rich, savory duck and the fresh, citrusy sauce creates an unforgettable flavor profile that showcases the dish's aristocratic French origins. The meticulous preparation and exquisite presentation make duck à l'orange a true culinary masterpiece. Shepherd's pie is a homely casserole crafted with ground meat and vegetables, crowned with a layer of mashed potatoes. Originally from the United Kingdom and dating back to the late 18th century, this dish traditionally uses lamb, as the name shepherd suggests, differentiating it from cottage pie, which uses beef. The typical preparation involves sautéing ground lamb with onions, carrots, and peas, then topping it with a creamy layer of mashed potatoes and baking it until it achieves a golden color. Shepherd's pie was a dining staple in both British and American homes throughout the 1970s, offering a robust and comforting meal. It gained particular favor during the colder months, providing a warming, comforting dish perfect for family dinners or gatherings where its layered textures and flavors were particularly appreciated. Chicken Kiev packs a punch with its chicken breasts stuffed with herbed butter, all wrapped up in a crispy breadcrumb coating. The dish stirs up a bit of a debate about its roots. Some folks reckon it was whipped up by French chefs back in the early 19th century, while others swear it was crafted by a Ukrainian chef in a Moscow kitchen in the early 20th century. Regardless of its backstory, Chicken Kiev began turning heads internationally around mid-20th century, becoming the go-to at dinner parties and special events. The traditional way to do it? Flatten those chicken breasts, tuck in a mix of butter, garlic, and herbs, roll them up, bread them, and fry to a golden brown. When sliced, the butter inside just bursts out, making a rich, flavorful sauce. By the 1960s, it had secured its spot on menus across America, often served with a side of veggies or rice. Veal Parmigiana brings a little taste of Italian-American heritage to the table, featuring breaded veal cutlets smothered in tomato sauce and melted cheese. Born in the kitchens of Italian immigrant communities in the U.S., this dish was a clever adaptation of traditional Italian recipes, tailored to American tastes. It first surfaced in the early 20th century, with Italian-American families swapping out eggplant for veal. Introduced in Italian-American eateries soon after, veal Parmigiana became a staple. The preparation? Bread those veal cutlets, fry them up, layer with marinara sauce, and a good helping of mozzarella or parmesan, then bake it until it's bubbling and golden. It hit its peak popularity in the 1950s and 1960s, often accompanied by pasta, crafting a hearty and satisfying meal. Picture this: New York, 1896, the swanky Waldorf Astoria Hotel, and there you have the birth of the Waldorf salad. This crunchy mix of apples, celery, and walnuts all tied together with a creamy mayonnaise dressing became a hit for its refreshing simplicity and elegance. It was Oscar Cherky, the maître d'hôtel, who is credited with creating this iconic dish, which has no lettuce despite being a salad. It's the kind of dish that added a touch of class to any gathering, easy to whip up but sophisticated enough to impress. Over the years, folks have played around with the ingredients, throwing in grapes, swapping mayo for yogurt, or adding a sprinkle of chicken to bulk it up. But as culinary scenes expanded, the Waldorf salad started appearing less frequently, edged out by a parade of new salads flaunting global flavors and lighter dressings. Still, its knack for blending textures continues to influence salad trends far and wide. Ah, green bean casserole, a dish that smells like nostalgia and tastes like comfort. Invented in 1955 by Dorcas Riley at the Campbell Soup Company, This casserole was a genius way to use up pantry staples: canned green beans, cream of mushroom soup, and crispy fried onions. It quickly became a Thanksgiving must-have, celebrated for its creamy goodness and that irresistible onion crunch. Despite its fame, the casserole has seen a bit of a downturn in everyday use, outpaced by fresher, trendier side dishes. Yet, chefs and home cooks have been giving it a modern makeover, using fresh green beans or homemade mushroom sauce to elevate the classic. Some regional versions even throw in bacon or cheese, adding a bit of local flair to this beloved dish. The Fluffernutter sandwich, created in the early 20th century, is a classic American dish often enjoyed as a sweet treat or snack. This nostalgic sandwich is made by spreading peanut butter and marshmallow fluff on white bread. The dish typically uses soft white bread, which complements the creamy textures of the fillings. The brand of marshmallow spread traditionally used is Marshmallow Fluff, invented in 1917 by Archibald Query in Somerville, Massachusetts. It was originally sold door-to-door before gaining widespread popularity. The sandwich became a popular childhood treat in the mid-20th century because of its sweet and satisfying taste. The term fluffernutter was coined by an advertising agency in the 1960s, solidifying the sandwich's identity. Kugel spread on toast was a quirky and delightful dish first created in the early 1970s. The dish consists of kugel, a flavored peanut butter spread slathered on toast. Kugel came in various unique flavors like chocolate, vanilla, cinnamon, and banana, making it a playful alternative to regular peanut butter. The spread, manufactured by Kraft, became popular due to its unique and sweet flavors, which appealed to children and adults alike. The most popular flavor of Kugel spread was chocolate, which was often enjoyed as a sweet breakfast treat or snack. Kugel was discontinued in the late 1970s due to declining sales. Maple bars are a type of donut that was first created in the mid-20th century. This sweet treat is typically enjoyed as a breakfast item or snack, especially in the Pacific Northwest, where it has become particularly popular. Maple bars are made from a light and airy dough that's shaped into a rectangular bar, then fried and topped with a sweet maple-flavored icing. The maple bar is believed to have originated in Portland, Oregon in the 1920s, with local donut shops offering this unique variation of the classic donut. The type of dough used for maple bars is similar to that of traditional donuts, ensuring a soft and tender texture. In 2013, the mayor of Portland declared June 7th as National Donut Day to celebrate the city's rich donut culture, including the iconic maple bar. German pancakes, also known as Dutch babies, are a unique breakfast dish that originated in the early 20th century. These pancakes are often topped with powdered sugar or fruit. The ingredients for German pancakes include eggs, flour, milk, and sugar, creating a batter that is poured into a hot skillet and baked in the oven. The key ingredient that gives German pancakes their distinct puffiness is eggs, which cause the batter to rise dramatically while baking. These pancakes are typically served with a squeeze of lemon and a dusting of powdered sugar, enhancing their delicate flavor. In the 1960s, Dutch babies gained popularity in California, thanks to Sunset magazine featuring the recipe in their publication. German pancakes are also commonly referred to as Dutch babies, a name popularized in the United States. From the past. This dish hails from 19th century Russia, dreamt up by a chef who worked for the Stroganoff family. When it hit American soil, it quickly became a household favorite, particularly beloved in the 50s and 60s for its exotic yet homey vibe. It's all about those tender beef strips swimming in a creamy sour cream sauce, often jazzed up with mushrooms and onions, and served over a bed of noodles or rice. Perfect for anything from a casual family dinner to a more decked-out gathering. Although it's not as prevalent as it once was, likely due to folks leaning towards lighter meals, beef stroganoff still shows its face around the globe, tweaked here and there to suit local tastes. Liver and onions. That's a dish that harks back to when folks appreciated the hearty, nutrient-packed offerings from the kitchen. This classic is made from beef liver, often soaked in milk to soften its robust flavor, then fried up with onions until the liver's crispy on the edges but tender inside. Known for its high iron content, liver and onions was especially popular among older generations for its health benefits. The caramelized onions add a sweet contrast that's just right. It really caught on in parts of the US with big meatpacking industries, like the Midwest and Northeast, where fresh offal was easy to come by. But as tastes evolved, the dish started seeing less love, probably because today's diners often opt for lighter, less intense flavors. It's definitely not the menu staple it once was. Apple chicken is a sweet nod to the mid-20th century love affair with combining fruit and savory elements in one dish. It features juicy chunks of chicken cooked with pineapple and bell peppers, all doused in a tangy sweet sauce made from vinegar, brown sugar, and soy sauce. This fusion reflects the period's fascination with Hawaiian and Polynesian cultures, which influenced many American culinary trends. This dish was all the rage, bringing a bit of tropical flair to the dinner table with its vibrant colors and bold flavors. However, as culinary trends shifted towards more authentic and less sugary interpretations of ethnic cuisines, pineapple chicken's popularity waned. These days, the preference for subtler, more balanced flavors means dishes like this are less common, though it still pops up at family gatherings or potlucks. Creamed chipped beef, often fondly referred to as SOS by those who've served in the military, is a simple dish of dried beef in a white sauce, typically spooned over toast. This dish's nickname, "shit on a shingle," comes from its appearance and was a humorous yet endearing term used by service members. It gained fame in military settings for its straightforward, filling nature, making use of economical ingredients to feed many mouths. Despite its practical roots and comforting taste, its appeal has dwindled in civilian life, where fresher, zestier flavors are now in vogue. The modern palate tends to favor dishes that are lower in sodium and fat, moving away from heavier, cream-based comfort foods in favor of lighter, more nuanced culinary options. Pimento cheese really kicked off in the early 20th century, thanks to some clever innovations in the US dairy industry. It's a simple mix: grated cheddar, pimento peppers, and a dollop of mayonnaise, creating a spread that's both creamy and has a nice kick from those sweet peppers. This spread really took off in the South, where pimentos were as common as sunshine, becoming a go-to for sandwiches, celery fillers, or slathered on a burger at a backyard barbecue. The thing about pimento cheese is its adaptability. Over the years, folks have jazzed it up with jalapenos, onions, or a dash of smoked paprika, catering to all sorts of taste buds. While its star has dimmed a bit, overtaken by the surge in artisanal cheeses and spreads, it once ruled the roost at Southern gatherings, perfectly complementing the comfort food vibe. Launched in 1937 by Hormel Foods, Spam quickly became a staple during World War II thanks to its long shelf life and ease of use. Spam sandwiches, which might be grilled or not, served with simple condiments like mustard or mayo, were a hit, particularly where fresh meat was scarce. In Hawaii, Spam became so popular that it led to the creation of the local favorite, Spam musubi, combining the canned meat with rice and seaweed. Over time, however, the popularity of Spam sandwiches has waned. While marketing once played up Spam's affordability and versatility, shifts towards health and quality have lessened its appeal. Despite this, Spam remains a cultural icon in places like Hawaii, where it stars in local dishes like Spam musubi, showcasing its unique role in regional cuisines. Pickled beet eggs are a striking dish made from hard-boiled eggs pickled in a mix of beet juice, vinegar, sugar, and spices, turning them a vibrant purple. Rooted in Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, these eggs were a popular way to preserve and add a kick to the humble egg. They're memorable for their bold color and tangy taste, often popping up in diners and potlucks, especially where traditional preservation techniques were valued. But as home pickling waned and palates evolved towards fresher, more global flavors, pickled beet eggs started to fade from the mainstream. Though once a staple during festive holidays like Easter and a showpiece in buffet spreads, their traditional charm has been overshadowed by more modern culinary trends. Pizza burgers burst onto the American culinary scene in the 1950s, offering a delightful mashup that appealed to anyone with a love for hamburgers and pizza. This novel creation typically consists of a hamburger patty, either grilled or fried, smothered with marinara sauce, sprinkled with mozzarella cheese, and then broiled until the cheese bubbles with joy, all served on a traditional hamburger bun. Some versions go further, adding toppings like pepperoni or green peppers to more closely mimic a pizza, or substituting the beef patty with spicy Italian sausage for an added kick. By the 1960s, pizza burgers had carved out their niche, especially in school cafeterias and fast food restaurants, offering a tasty twist on well-loved classics and capturing the era's zest for new and exciting food experiences. Turkey and cranberry sandwiches cleverly repurposed the quintessential Thanksgiving leftovers into an enticing sandwich that marries the savory flavor of turkey with the sweet tang of cranberry sauce. This tasty combination rose to popularity in mid-20th century America, showcasing an inventive way to transform holiday leftovers into delightful new meals. The sandwich is simply made by stacking slices of turkey and cranberry sauce, often accompanied by stuffing between two pieces of bread. This culinary creation not only makes excellent use of leftover turkey, but also captures the festive essence of Thanksgiving, melding juicy, savory turkey slices with the sharp sweetness of cranberry sauce in a sandwich that embodies the holiday's spirit. The fried bologna and cheese sandwich is a classic testament to the straightforward, comforting nature of traditional American cuisine. In the southern United States, this sandwich is sometimes affectionately called a redneck steak, highlighting its role as a staple among working-class families. This unpretentious sandwich comprises slices of bologna, fried until the edges curl, paired with melting cheese and enclosed between two slices of bread, then grilled or toasted. Its roots can be traced back to the early 20th century, when bologna was a popular and economical meat choice, quickly becoming a favored lunch option in the Midwest and southern U.S. Typically found in diners and local eateries, this sandwich won over many with its uncomplicated yet satisfying blend of crispy, savory bologna and creamy, melted cheese, encapsulated in warm, toasty bread, a simple yet fulfilling dish loved for its comforting flavors. Olive loaf sandwiches merge the meaty taste of bologna with the tangy zing of green olives, creating a distinctive and palatable sandwich choice. Originating from the mid-20th century American lunch scene, olive loaf, a cold cut laden with green olives, ground pork, and beef, became a popular choice for its flavor and convenience. The sandwich itself typically includes slices of this unique loaf paired with creamy mayonnaise or tangy mustard, crisp lettuce, and occasionally a slice of cheese, all sandwiched between two slices of fresh bread. Simple to assemble and delicious to eat, this sandwich became a favorite for picnics and packed lunches, often accompanied by potato chips or pickles. Olive loaf sandwiches showcase how processed meats and cold cuts played a pivotal role in American lunch culture, offering quick, flavorful, and varied meal options for families on the go. Take a bite into the past with bologna boats, a fun and inventive lunchtime creation from mid-20th century America. These unique creations start with slices of bologna, heated and shaped into whimsical boat-like forms, then filled with a hearty helping of creamy mashed potatoes, gooey melted cheese, or savory baked beans. School cafeterias were particularly fond of serving these as a fun, kid-friendly option. The versatility of bologna boats is notable, with some versions including macaroni and cheese or even chili for those seeking something more substantial. They emerged as a clever way to utilize common pantry staples creatively, providing a budget-friendly meal solution during times when stretching the grocery budget was necessary. Peanut butter and bacon sandwiches represent a bold fusion of flavors, combining the smooth, slightly sweet taste of peanut butter with the crispy, savory bite of bacon. This combination was part of a broader mid-century trend of experimenting with sweet and savory pairings, which included other famous concoctions like chicken and waffles. Popular in mid-20th century America, this sandwich typically involves a generous spread of peanut butter on toasted bread, topped with strips of crunchy bacon. The king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, was known to enjoy this sandwich with added slices of banana, introducing a sweet layer to the salty-sweet mix. This quirky combination was emblematic of a period when Americans were open to experimenting with diverse and unexpected flavor pairings, creating memorable and satisfying meals. Taste the innovation in every hearty bite of Jiffy ground beef cornbread casserole, a triumph of American home cooking. Rising to popularity in the mid-20th century, this casserole marries seasoned ground beef with the simplicity of Jiffy cornbread mix, a product that became a staple in American kitchens following its introduction in the 1930s by the Chelsea Milling Company. The preparation involves browning ground beef with onions, garlic, and a medley of spices, then layering it in a baking dish, topping it with a batter made from the iconic cornbread mix. Once baked, the casserole presents a delightful contrast of flavors and textures, with golden cornbread capping a juicy, flavorful beef base. It became a favored choice for an easy and satisfying meal, perfectly blending ease of preparation with hearty flavors. Sole meunière is a delicate and refined French classic, consisting of tender fish fillets lightly dredged in flour, sautéed in butter, and spritzed with lemon. The dish gets its name, meunière, from the traditional French technique used in its preparation. It first captured hearts in France early in the 20th century, where it quickly became a fixture in upscale dining. Julia Child's profound endorsement of sole meunière, after experiencing it as her first memorable meal at La Couronne restaurant in 1948, catapulted the dish to international fame and sparked her lifelong passion for French cuisine. To whip up sole meunière, the fish fillets are sautéed until golden, then drizzled with a simple butter, lemon, and parsley sauce. Usually served with a side of veggies or potatoes, this dish offers a light, refreshing meal that perfectly showcases the subtle flavors of the fish. Crab Louis, also known as the King of Salads, is a classic that originated on the U.S. West Coast in the early 20th century. While its birthplace is up for debate, some say the Palace Hotel in San Francisco, others point to Solari's restaurant in Seattle. It always features Dungeness crab, hard-boiled eggs, asparagus, tomatoes, and a creamy dressing made from mayonnaise, chili sauce, and spices. Crab Louis was dubbed the King of Salads by the San Francisco Chronicle in 1914, a nod to its deluxe ingredients and popularity among the elite. It first gained traction in the 1920s and 1930s, becoming a favored dish for lighter dinners or luncheons. The mix of crisp lettuce, savory crab, and tangy dressing, served up in an elegant presentation, made it a must-have at many a high-end restaurant and social gathering. Chicken divan is all about comfort, featuring chicken and broccoli smothered in a creamy cheese sauce, baked to perfection. It originated in the early 20th century at the Divan Parisien restaurant in New York City, named for the very place that concocted it. Initially designed as a showcase of the chef's skills in French cooking, chicken divan made its mark in the mid-20th century as a dish that blended sophistication with simplicity. To make it, layer cooked chicken and broccoli in a baking dish, pour over a sauce made from butter, flour, cream, and cheese, and bake until it's golden and bubbly. This dish is a testament to the fusion of French culinary art with the comfort of American home cooking, creating a truly delightful dish. Eggplant Parmesan is a hearty Italian-American favorite that layers crispy breaded eggplant slices with marinara sauce and cheese. This vegetarian delight originally hails from southern Italy, known there as melanzane alla parmigiana, and made its way to American shores with Italian immigrants in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The classic approach involves slicing the eggplant, breading it, and frying it until it's just the right shade of golden brown. These crispy slices are then layered with marinara sauce and a generous helping of mozzarella or parmesan, and baked until the cheese bubbles with joy. Eggplant parmesan became a staple in meatless meal traditions, particularly appreciated during the Lenten season among Catholic families in America. Gaining a firm foothold in American-Italian eateries during the 20th century, it often comes served with a side of pasta or bread, rounding out a truly satisfying meal. Johnny cakes, a traditional American dish, dates back to the early colonial period. They are typically enjoyed as a breakfast or side dish, offering a hearty and simple meal. The dish is made with cornmeal, water, and salt, forming a batter that is fried on a griddle. Traditionally, Johnny cakes are made with stone-ground white cornmeal, which gives them a unique texture and flavor. These cakes are cooked until golden and crisp, then served with butter, syrup, or other toppings. Johnny cakes were a staple food for Native American tribes in the Northeast, who taught European settlers how to make them from local ingredients like cornmeal. Johnny cakes became popular when they were embraced as a traditional breakfast food in New England and the southern United States. Pancake on a stick, a fun and convenient breakfast treat, was first created in the early 21st century. This dish combines the classic flavors of pancakes and sausage into an easy-to-eat form, typically enjoyed as a quick breakfast or snack. The dish consists of a sausage link coated in pancake batter and then fried until golden. Pancake on a stick became popular when it was introduced as a convenient food option by companies like Jimmy Dean. Unusual variations, such as using different types of sausage or adding cheese, have added to the appeal of this dish. In 2017, pancake on a stick was featured on the menu of select fast food chains, further popularizing this innovative breakfast option. The dish has since become a favorite at state fairs and festivals across the United States. The bologna and egg breakfast sandwich is a straightforward and satisfying dish that has been enjoyed since the mid-20th century. This dish combines fried bologna, a cooked egg, and cheese on a soft roll or bread. Fried bologna sandwiches have been a staple in working-class American households since the early 20th century, providing a hearty and affordable meal option. The bologna is typically prepared by frying it until it develops a crispy edge, while the egg is cooked to preference, often sunny side up or over easy. The sandwich is usually served on a soft roll or white bread, complementing the savory fillings. In 2019, a food truck in Nashville, Tennessee, gained attention for serving gourmet versions of the classic bologna and egg sandwich, elevating it to a trendy brunch item. Blueberry buckle is a delightful breakfast pastry that originated in the early 20th century. The term buckle originated in the 19th century to describe fruit-studded cakes that buckled under the weight of their toppings during baking. This dish, typically enjoyed as a breakfast or brunch item, combines a moist cake base with fresh blueberries and a crumbly streusel topping. The ingredients for blueberry buckle include flour, sugar, butter, eggs, and fresh blueberries, creating a sweet and satisfying treat. Blueberry buckle became popular when it was embraced as a traditional breakfast pastry in the northeastern United States, where blueberries are plentiful. In Maine, blueberry buckle is celebrated with an annual festival featuring baking competitions, tastings, and live music, highlighting the state's rich blueberry heritage. Ravioli sandwiches are an unconventional, playful lunch option that taps into the beloved flavors of Italian cuisine while embracing the convenience of a sandwich. These emerged likely in response to the popularity of canned ravioli introduced by Chef Boyardee in the 1930s. The sandwich involves placing canned ravioli, filled with meat or cheese, between slices of bread, which can be toasted or grilled to meld the flavors and add a textural contrast to the soft ravioli filling. Known in some places as Italian sloppy joes or ravioli hero, these sandwiches gained a following among budget-conscious college students and anyone appreciating the melding of comforting Italian flavors with the easy handheld format of a sandwich. Peanut butter and pickle sandwiches present a surprising mix of flavors that demonstrates the adventurous side of American sandwich making. Originating in the mid-20th century, this combination pairs the creamy, slightly sweet taste of peanut butter with the sharp, crunchy tang of pickles. Often referred to as the Southern Comfort Sandwich in the southern United States, it features a liberal spread of peanut butter on bread with layers of thinly sliced pickles. This sandwich can be enjoyed open-faced or as a standard sandwich, and it pairs wonderfully with a cold glass of milk. The resulting meal is a bold blend of sweet, salty, and tangy flavors, offering a taste experience that's both unexpected and satisfying. Tuna Jello. Salad is a striking example of mid-20th century American culinary creativity, combining seemingly incongruous ingredients like canned tuna and lime-flavored gelatin. This dish first emerged in the 1950s, a time when gelatin salads were all the rage. The process involves dissolving lime jello in hot water and mixing it with canned tuna, finely chopped celery, pimento, and hard-boiled eggs, then letting it set until firm. Served on a bed of lettuce and often garnished with dollops of mayonnaise or whipped cream, this salad blends savory and sweet in a mold that is as eye-catching as it is unique. Often featured as the centerpiece at luncheons or as a dinner entree, its unique combination of ingredients and textures made it a memorable, if somewhat unusual, dish. Indulge in the European-inspired rice pudding lunch bowl, where tradition serves comfort at your American lunch. Made from a simple mix of cooked rice, milk, sugar, and a hint of vanilla, this dish is cooked slowly until it becomes thick and creamy. The rice pudding lunch bowl could be customized with various toppings, such as a dusting of cinnamon, a dollop of jam, or fresh berries, providing versatility and appealing to different tastes. Once prepared, it's often garnished with a sprinkle of cinnamon, fresh fruit, or nuts, adding flavor and texture. Served either warm or cold, it was adaptable as a dessert or a light lunch, fitting seamlessly into any meal plan. Its versatility was appreciated in homes where cooks valued recipes that could be easily adjusted to suit the occasion, making rice pudding a reliable and satisfying choice. Sloppy Joe casserole, a hearty American dish, was a staple in 1970s family meals. The original Sloppy Joe, a sandwich filled with ground beef and a tangy tomato sauce, is believed to have been created in the 1930s at a cafe in Sioux City, Iowa. The casserole version incorporates the same ingredients: ground beef, onions, green peppers, tomato sauce, and seasonings, spread in a baking dish and topped with biscuits or cornbread batter. It is then baked until the topping is golden and the filling is bubbly. This adaptation offered a family-friendly one-dish meal that could be prepared in advance, making it ideal for busy households. The combination of savory beef and a satisfying golden crust made it a popular choice for casual family dinners and gatherings. The macaroni and cheese loaf sandwich merges classic comfort food with the convenience of a sandwich, popular in mid-20th century America. This intriguing dish features slices of macaroni and cheese loaf, a processed deli item that blends pasta and ham encased in a meatloaf-like product, layered between bread with mustard or mayonnaise. First introduced in the 1950s, this loaf became a unique addition to the American sandwich repertoire, often accompanied by chips or pickles on the side. This sandwich provided a novel, tasty meal solution that appealed to those who cherished the hearty flavors of macaroni cheese but desired the practicality of a sandwich, making it a peculiar yet beloved option for lunches. Veal marsala is an elegant Italian dish that features tender veal cutlets simmered in a rich marsala wine sauce. Originating in Sicily, where marsala wine has been a staple since the 18th century, this dish made a splash in Italian-American kitchens in the mid-20th century. The classic method involves lightly flouring the veal cutlets, then pan-frying them in butter until they're beautifully browned. The magic happens when the pan is deglazed with marsala wine, adding mushrooms and sometimes cream to create a sauce that's both sweet and savory. As Italian restaurants in America evolved to showcase regional specialties, veal marsala emerged as a sophisticated favorite, commonly served with pasta or potatoes to enhance the tender veal with its robust marsala sauce. Salmon kalibiak is a dish of luxury, with salmon fillet wrapped in puff pastry, along with rice and mushrooms, originating from Russia, where it's known as kulebyaka. The name stems from the Russian word for a type of rich, filled pie. The traditional setup lays a seasoned salmon fillet on a bed of cooked rice and mushrooms, then envelops it in puff pastry, which bakes to a golden flakiness. This dish became popular in the banquet menus of European royalty and was featured in several Russian novels. Celebrated in France during the 19th century and beloved for special occasions, salmon kalibiak is often served with vegetables or a light salad. The blend of ingredients inside the pastry creates a sophisticated hearty meal that showcases the culinary crossover between Russian robustness and French finesse. Lamb Navarin is a traditional French stew that sings of spring, packed with tender lamb and fresh spring vegetables. Originating from Normandy, this dish is best when the ingredients are at their peak freshness, typically prepared in the spring. The name Navarin itself is inspired by the French word for turnip, navette, a staple in this hearty stew. The process starts by browning the lamb to perfection, then slow cooking it with turnips, carrots, onions, and potatoes in a flavorful broth until everything is tender and infused with flavor. Lamb Navarin is a dish that really captures the essence of spring, highlighting both the succulence of the lamb and the sweetness of the fresh vegetables. It's commonly served with crusty bread or a side of rice, making it a fulfilling and comforting meal. Tomato surprise once captivated the culinary scene with its inventive approach. Tomatoes hollowed out and filled with everything from tuna to chicken salad or rice blends, served up chilled. This dish thrived in the 50s and 60s, where hosts at home parties loved the visual appeal and refreshing taste it offered. The tomatoes had to be just the right firmness to cup creamy interiors that contrasted beautifully with their acidic walls. However, as diners began to favor dishes that showcased natural flavors without the frills, tomato surprise saw a decrease in popularity. The culinary scene began to value ingredient transparency over novelty, causing dishes like tomato surprise, which relied on a gimmick of hidden contents, to fall out of favor in favor of more straightforward and ingredient-focused dishes. Chili cheese dog. Casserole is a hearty, indulgent dish that embodies the essence of comfort food, merging hot dogs, chili, and cheese in a bake that's rich in flavor. Assembled with slices of hot dogs and canned chili spread over a layer of dough, either made from scratch or using convenient crescent rolls, and topped with a generous amount of shredded cheese, this casserole is baked until the cheese is bubbly and the base is golden brown. This dish became a favorite for casual family dinners and informal gatherings, offering a spicy, savory, and gooey eating experience that drew rave reviews from diners looking for satisfying, easy-to-make meals. Experience the culinary crossover of egg foo young sandwiches, where American and Chinese traditions meet in a mid-20th century flavor explosion. This unique sandwich format includes an egg foo young patty, made with beaten eggs mixed with vegetables and often additional proteins like meat or seafood, nestled on bread or a bun, sometimes smothered with a rich, savory sauce. Prepared by frying the patty until golden and serving it on toasted bread, this sandwich offered a flavorful, fulfilling meal. With fillings typically including bean sprouts, mushrooms, and onions, and options for shrimp or pork, it provided a satisfying blend of textures and tastes, becoming a favored lunch or dinner choice served with a side salad or light soup. Cheese soufflé, a sophisticated culinary delight, found prominence in 1970s dining rooms. Originating in France, the soufflé's name derives from the French verb souffler, meaning to puff. The first recorded recipe for soufflé appeared in Vincent Lachapelle's 1738 culinary book. A cheese soufflé is made with a base of bechamel sauce, into which grated cheese, traditionally Gruyère or Comté, is folded. Egg yolks are then incorporated, followed by stiffly beaten egg whites, which provide the soufflé its characteristic airy texture. The mixture is poured into a buttered and breadcrumb-dusted soufflé dish and baked until it puffs up and turns golden brown. The delicate balance of flavors and textures, combined with its dramatic rise, makes cheese soufflé a culinary masterpiece that showcases the chef's skill and precision. Veal Oscar is a decadent dish featuring breaded veal cutlets topped with crab meat, asparagus, and hollandaise sauce. The dish is named after King Oscar II of Sweden, who was known for his love of fine dining and was created in the late 19th century. King Oscar II's enthusiastic patronage of the arts and fine dining inspired not only this dish, but also helped to popularize Swedish culinary traditions abroad. He was an avid gastronome and patron of the arts, inspiring this luxurious dish. The traditional preparation involves breading and frying the veal cutlets, then topping them with sautéed crab meat and steamed asparagus. The dish is finished with a rich and creamy hollandaise sauce, creating a luxurious and indulgent meal. Veal Oscar was a popular choice in high-end restaurants and special occasions where its elegant presentation was appreciated. Ham steak with pineapple is a dish that offers a delightful contrast of flavors, featuring a grilled ham steak topped with a juicy pineapple ring. This simple yet appealing dish first gained popularity in the United States during the mid-20th century, becoming a go-to for easy, satisfying dinners. The process involves grilling or pan-frying the ham steak until it's nicely browned, then crowning it with a pineapple ring and occasionally a cherry for a festive touch. The sweet and savory combination of ham and pineapple delivers a unique and enjoyable taste experience. Often accompanied by sides like mashed potatoes or green beans, ham steak with pineapple makes for a well-rounded, hearty meal. Surf and turf really takes the cake for a luxury meal, merging the delights of the sea and land by pairing a succulent steak with lobster. This gem debuted on the American dining scene back in the 60s, quickly becoming the crown jewel of fine dining. There's a bit of a toss-up about who first whipped it up, but it's usually linked to those high-end steakhouses and seafood joints. The phrase surf and turf likely popped up during that era, perfectly capturing the essence of a lavish meal. Typically, you'd find a tender beef steak, like a filet mignon, grilled to perfection next to a beautifully broiled lobster tail, all rounded off with a side of melted butter and occasionally a decadent béarnaise sauce. In the 1970s, this dish really hit its stride, especially at celebratory events or upscale eateries, becoming a symbol of the American fascination with all-out luxury dining where piling two premium ingredients onto one plate was the ultimate indulgence. Wiggle brought together shrimp and sweet peas in a comforting white sauce, traditionally served over toast or pasta. This dish was a staple in the Northeast, celebrated for its simplicity and the delightful interplay of seafood sweetness with creamy sauce. Despite its long-standing popularity, Shrimp Wiggle's appeal began to diminish as newer generations of diners sought out dishes that highlighted seafood in its most natural state, moving away from the heavy, cream-laden preparations of the past. The growing preference for seafood dishes that emphasize the freshness and quality of the ingredients, such as grilled or sautéed preparations, contributed to the decline in popularity of more traditional, sauce-heavy dishes like Shrimp Wiggle. Banana meatloaf emerged as an adventurous twist on traditional meatloaf by incorporating mashed bananas to add sweetness and moisture. This innovative mix was part of a broader trend to blend unexpected flavors and textures. Interestingly, the addition of bananas also helped the meatloaf retain moisture during cooking, resulting in a tender and flavorful dish. However, as culinary preferences matured, the novelty of mixing fruit with savory meat lost its allure. Diners increasingly favored classic, unadulterated flavors in their meat dishes, preferring the familiar savory profiles over the sweet complexity introduced by bananas. This preference for traditional tastes led to a decrease in the popularity of such experimental dishes, as they no longer aligned with the prevailing culinary values that cherished the natural flavors of the primary ingredients without the addition of fruits or sweeteners. Egg salad in aspic was once a highlight of buffets and luncheons, combining creamy egg salad encased in a clear, savory gelatin. It was prized for both its aesthetic appeal and practicality at social gatherings. However, the fascination with gelatin-based dishes waned as culinary trends began to eschew complex, molded presentations in favor of simpler, more natural presentations. The move away from foods that were heavily molded and shaped reflects a broader culinary shift that places a premium on authenticity and minimal manipulation of ingredients. This change in dining preferences led to the decline of dishes like egg salad in aspic, as modern diners came to prefer salads and appetizers that offered straightforward, fresh tastes without the artifice of gelatin casings. Saint-Jacques is a dish that exudes elegance, featuring scallops baked in a creamy sauce and often served right in their shells. This dish's charming name, which translates to St. James's shells, nods to St. James, the patron saint of pilgrims, and references the pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. To prepare it, scallops are gently sautéed in butter, then bathed in a sauce crafted from white wine, cream, and shallots. The final touch is a sprinkle of breadcrumbs before baking until the top turns a tempting golden brown. This dish offers a delightful exploration of scallops' delicate and sweet flavors, beautifully enhanced by the creamy sauce. Coquille Saint-Jacques has long been a fixture at festive dinners where its refined and sophisticated character is a favorite. Turkey tetrazzini is a creamy, comforting pasta dish that features turkey, mushrooms, and parmesan, all baked to a golden finish. It was crafted by chef Ernest Arbogast at the Palace Hotel as a tribute to Italian opera singer Luisa Tetrazzini. believed to have been first made in San Francisco in the early 20th century. This dish begins by sautéing turkey and mushrooms, then melding them with a lush sauce made from butter, flour, milk, and chicken broth. The creamy mixture is then tossed with cooked spaghetti, sprinkled with Parmesan cheese, and baked until it's bubbly and golden. Turkey tetrazzini has become a classic American comfort food, especially popular for using up leftover turkey, making it a post-Thanksgiving favorite. Dish became popular in the mid-20th century. It's a breakfast favorite made with ground beef, potatoes, and onions sautéed together. Ground chuck is often used for a flavorful base. Hamburger hash is garnished with fresh herbs or served with eggs, adding to its satisfying taste. The dish became popular for its convenience and hearty appeal, especially for families or large groups. Regional variations exist, such as incorporating bell peppers or different meats. In some regions, corned beef hash is a popular variation, using corned beef instead of ground beef. The dish was commonly paired with coffee or juice for breakfast, reflecting America's love for hearty morning meals. Culinary creativity of the 1980s. Born from the pages of The Silver Palette Cookbook by Julie Rosso and Sheila Lukens. This recipe blends sweet prunes and tangy capers with olives and a generous splash of white wine, creating a medley that marries sweet with savory in an unforgettable way. Garnished with parsley, it not only tastes divine, but also looks gorgeous on a plate. Perfect for dinner parties, it allows hosts to prep ahead, marinate overnight, and simply bake before serving, making entertaining seem effortless. Its exotic mix of ingredients brought a touch of the Mediterranean to American tables, perfectly aligning with the decade's thrill for bold, worldly flavors. Chicken marbella was a fashionable choice for gatherings, seamlessly integrating into the trend of sophisticated yet easy-to-prepare dishes. So high pie is a traditional dish from the 17th century that might sound intimidating, but it's actually delicious and surprisingly easy to make. If you're ever feeling like whipping a fancy meal on a cold snow day, high pie is your best friend. If high pie doesn't ring a bell, you might know it as raised pie. Strike a note? This unique pie was made using a hot water crust pastry, which allowed the pie to be formed by hand into a high, sturdy shape. But here's the twist. Instead of a pastry crust, it's topped with a layer of mashed potatoes. The best part? It can be filled with anything from ground beef and vegetables to braised chicken. High pies were often reserved for special occasions or holidays, as they required significant time and effort to prepare. The hype for high pie has died down over time, but it's still a staple in some homes who can't seem to let it go, especially during the winter months. The chicken and leek casserole is a celebration of classic French comfort food. But don't credit the French for this delicious meal just yet. This casserole is actually a variation of the Scottish cock-a-leekie soup. It's also known as Scotland's national soup. Think of a casserole that combined tender pieces of chicken with the delicate flavor of leeks, all cooked together in a creamy sauce. The original recipe added prunes during cooking, and traditionalists still garnish with a julienne of prunes. Back in the day, it was perfect for feeding big crowds. Plus, a touch of white wine or Dijon mustard makes the creamy sauce 100 times better. It's surprisingly easy to whip up, which makes it a great weeknight dinner option that's sure to become a family favorite again. You can really impress the family table with this unique casserole. Who doesn't want the whole fam to rave about their cooking skills during the holidays? Go earn your points. Remember the slow cooker oxtail stew Grandma used to make during the holidays? Yeah, it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but if you love oxtail, this is a winter dish straight out of your dreams. The invention of slow cookers in the 1970s made this dish a global hit, as you could make it without the need for constant attention. The oxtail is a cut of meat that requires longer to cook than you can imagine, and I'm sure you can connect the dots to why this one vanished from our dinner tables. Who has hours to spend on a stew nowadays? Well, if you ever find yourself stuck at home with nothing to do, the slow cooker oxtail stew won't only steal away your boredom, but also satisfy all those meat cravings. You just need the meat and then some vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and celery before cooking it all in a deeply flavored broth. Red wine or tomato-based stew both work wonders. This one will stick to your ribs and keep you warm on a cold winter night. Ham and banana hollandaise is a curious creation from the 1950s, featuring thinly sliced ham wrapped around bananas, all smothered in a rich hollandaise sauce and baked. This combination of salty ham with sweet bananas, united under a creamy sauce, was initially a hit for those looking to experiment with bold, unconventional flavors. Despite the initial curiosity it sparked, the enthusiasm dwindled as preferences leaned towards simpler and lighter fare. The culinary landscape evolved, with a growing distaste for combining heavy, rich sauces with sweet elements in savory dishes. This trend saw ham and banana hollandaise move from a novel main course to a rarely seen dish, as the palate of the time grew to favor more cohesive and traditional flavor pairings. Did that hour of Grandma's recipe classics hit the spot? If so, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and let's keep those memories alive.